Hey everybody, it's Crush City with Big Boy Pants Golf. I've got a hot mental game tip for you, and it focuses on Patrick Cantlay. He just won the BMW Championship, and he also won the Tour Championship. Most interestingly, what was released between those two tournaments that Patrick Cantlay won? Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm gonna prove to you today that somehow Patrick Cantlay has absorbed the spirit of Shang-Chi and is the Zen master on the PGA Tour. Watch his press conferences before the BMW Championship and after the Tour Championship, and you're gonna see him exhibit more than 10 principles of Zen. Let's begin. What we're gonna watch now is Patrick Cantlay expressing his feelings on the whole Bryson DeChambeau Brooksy situation during the BMW Open.
I think it's a tough situation. I think naturally, of course, there is some sympathy because you don't want to see anybody have a bunch of people be against you or even be heckled.
Now Patrick is going to show how everything in the universe is connected.
I think, anybody that watches sports and sees someone being heckled, they don't like that inherently, because if you imagine yourself as that person, it wouldn't feel good.
Things we value are empty.
I think unfortunately it might be a symptom of a larger problem, which is social media driven and which is potentially player impact program derived. I think when you have people that go for attention seeking maneuvers.
There is no such thing as self.
You leave yourself potentially open to having the wrong type of attention. And I think maybe that's where we're at, and it may be a symptom of going for too much attention.
Be present and be mindful.
But it can be awesome too, because if you succeed and you act perfect all the time, and you do the perfect things all the time, and then you also go for the right attention-seeking moves, you get like double bonus points because everyone loves you and you're on the perfect side of it.
Accept that painful things may happen.
I think it's just a very live by the sword, die by the sword type of deal. And when you leave it to a jury, you don't know what's gonna happen. And so it's hard to get all 12 people on a jury on your side.
Our logic is misleading.
And if you're playing professional golf on the stage that you're playing on, and 98% of the people are pulling for you, and there are 10,000 people on the green, I don't know, what does that leave? 20 people?
It's actually 200 people.
That don't like you, even if 98% of people like you. And if those 20 people have had enough to drink or feel emboldened enough to say something because they want to impress the girl they're standing next to,
everything constantly changes.
Then yeah, you're in trouble. People are gonna say bad things.
Build a community and contribute to it.
Golf, unfortunately, doesn't and probably shouldn't tolerate that. I think there's a respect level in golf, and there's an intimacy that the fans can get so close to you, and you're also all by yourself. And you don't have the armor of putting on Yankee pinstripes, and you don't have the armor of knowing that if you're on the Yankees and people hate you and you're playing in Boston, you can tolerate it for 3 hours in right field. But you only tolerate it because you know next week or on Friday you're gonna show up and you're gonna be in Yankee Stadium, and no matter what you do, even if you fall on your face, you're gonna have the pinstripe armor on and people are gonna love you.
Display gratitude and show respect.
So golf is different in that respect, that if you only have 2% of the people that are very against you because you're polarizing and because you're attention seeking, then you're kind of dead, because those people are going to be loud and they're going to want to say something to get under your skin. And I think golf shouldn't let that happen. I think the Masters is a great example of a place that doesn't let that happen, and it's the greatest place to watch and play professional golf. because of the atmosphere they create. And I think if you look at the history of the game and you look at the respect that underlies the entirety of the history of the game, we shouldn't tolerate it and we shouldn't celebrate that. We should celebrate the fan that is respectful and pulls for their side. So it's a tough situation. It's a tough topic, but that would be my take on it. And I'm sure it's not perfect, but after thinking about it a little bit, it's the best I can come up with.
Be free from greed and desire.
You know, if I were to win any portion of the 10, I would let you know that I win in that 10, and I would be compelled to give all that money back to the fans that made it possible, because there's no way a person like me should be able to get into the top 10 of the PIP if not for people out there deciding that they want me to be in the top 10 and to try to get some of that PIP money for themselves. Because if I win PIP money, I am going to give it back to the people that made it possible in some way, shape, or form. I won't take any of the PIP money. I think it's kind of ridiculous, and I think it is, when I said there's a symptom of a larger problem, I think that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So there you have it, folks. Patty Ice giving his input, and if you carefully decode it, you can see this guy is truly a Zen master, and his Zen master status has elevated his game and is why he's number 4 in the world right now.